Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. In less than 24 hours, the sidewalks and streets will be filled with kids in costumes hoping to score a lot of candy. And while getting as much candy as they can is at the forefront of every kid's mind, the weather is what's concerning most parents. So let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to find out just how many layers they are going to need tomorrow night. Jeremy?
Oh man, if you knew who was giving out the full-size candy bars here at KREM, you wouldn't even need the layers, you just go.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Laura Papetti. No, I'm kidding, she's not, but I hope she's watching. I'm gonna get a text in like 10 seconds. Anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the part. Sorry, Laura, I really am. Where do you get full-size candy bars?
The store.
I gotta go to the store. Kids are gonna show up at my house and I'm gonna be like, I'm sorry. 35 degrees as we currently sit. Why is that important? The reason it's important is because we will be significantly warmer this time tomorrow. Trust me on this one. It's not going to be quite as clear, and with a little bit of cloud cover in the atmosphere ahead of a round of moisture, I think we wind up being a bit warm. Tomorrow morning looks a lot like this morning. Temperatures in the mid to low 20s once again. By tomorrow afternoon, we climb into the upper 40s, a couple of degrees warmer than where we were today, but it's that, well, we'll say lack of sunshine in the afternoon that plays a role in those highs, but also the trick-or-treating lows. I think you're gonna be right around 40 degrees come trick-or-treat time, but it's dry, so kids, bundle up.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. New tonight, a Spokane veteran is joining a class action lawsuit against the Department of Defense. Hayden Powell was kicked out of the Air Force in the late 90s because of her sexual orientation, and she says she still is not entitled to her benefits that other veterans receive. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk reports tonight.
I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to be a part of something that I always thought was larger than myself.
That's why Hayden Powell says she enlisted in 1999. Stationed at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana, she was trained as a radio operator. She loved the job, and her dad was so proud he started a scrapbook. Today, it's difficult for her to flip through the pages.
I was 21 when I was kicked out. I'm 45, and I'm still trying to get it together.
Powell served during the military's Don't Ask, Don't Tell era and says she kept her sexual orientation a secret, but someone outed her.
Came to me and let me know ahead of time that she had informed our first sergeant of my sexual orientation. And I looked at her and said, "You just ruined my career."
That same day, Powell was ordered to report to the base commander's office.
He started reading from a form that stated that somebody had said that I was a lesbian and that they were initiating an investigation into alleged acts of homosexual conduct.
Powell was kicked out of the Air Force, and her separation paperwork, or DD Form 214, lists homosexual acts as the reason.
Felt like a criminal. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, scared, and alone.
Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed more than a decade ago. Service members no longer have to hide their sexual orientation, but Powell says she's still being denied benefits other veterans are entitled to.
I can't get the VA one-time home loan, or just even the monthly veterans benefits, medical insurance. And because of what it says on my 214 and the discharge codes, I can't access those things.
Powell has joined a class action lawsuit against the Department of Defense, seeking justice for the estimated 35,000 LGBTQ plus vets discharged under Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
No one is seeking money damages. This case is about restoring honor and the government fixing all of these military records that it has had the opportunity to fix for over a decade.
35,000 people that decided willingly to serve our country, to defend rights and freedoms that we do not even have, or can't even enjoy ourselves.
In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Now to our night beat with a quick look at today's top stories. The Washington State Patrol is asking for witnesses to a deadly hit-and-run crash on Highway 395 near Lind. Troopers think it happened around 3:30 this morning. A 31-year-old man from Lakewood was hit and killed by a vehicle driving southbound. WSP closed Highway 395 for several hours to investigate. That road has since reopened, but troopers are asking anyone with information about the collision to call the Washington State Patrol. A house fire killed 2 children overnight in Millwood. That call came in just before 3 o'clock this morning. When firefighters arrived, Spokane Valley Fire says they found one person trying to put out the fire with a garden hose. Despite firefighting and life-saving efforts, 2 children died in the home, as well as 2 family dogs. The children's father was injured, along with a Spokane Valley firefighter. The cause of that fire is still under investigation. A new opioid treatment facility opened today thanks to the Spokane Regional Health District. The programs offered at the facility aim to personalize treatment with a combination of medication and therapy. That new location will help expand services and better serve the community. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website. That's KREM.com. All week long, our Boomtown series that we are tracking the growth in our community, and today we are covering a potentially shrinking Division Street. Once the North Spokane Freeway is completed, the city is planning on making changes to one of Spokane's busiest streets. KREM 2's Nathan Hyun spoke with opponents of so-called Division Diet and how this project all came together.
If you've driven on Division Street recently, you might have noticed he stopped the Division Road Diet billboard signs. That's because by the end of this decade, the number of lanes drivers can use on Division might change.
Now, a road diet is planned for Division Street.
This video was released by KREM Spokane back in August of this year. It points out what it calls potential flaws of the future Division Street bus rapid transit line.
Already, Division is a congested street, and this taking away 33% to 50% of the lanes is going to just make it more congested.
Larry Stone is the creator of the KREM Spokane video series.
This reduction will decrease access to local businesses.
He is a strong opponent of the so-called Division Diet. The project is expected to reduce one lane on both north and southbound lanes of Division Street for public transportation purposes. Stone says this doesn't make sense for a rapidly growing city.
More homes are going to be built up north, both in the unincorporated areas and in the city, and to make the commute more difficult and more costly and more pollution doesn't make any sense to me.
Spokane Transit Authority Chief Planning and Development Officer Carl Otterstrom says the project was first discussed back in 2010.
It's going to define the opportunities for growth and reinvestment in North Spokane.
STA wants Division Street to promote all modes of transportation, and that includes transit. STA says lanes set aside for transit to allow buses to get passengers to their destinations faster.
Division could actually degrade and be a place that people don't want to be. And so this is an opportunity to reimagine it.
Division Street sees upwards of 50,000 cars a day. But Otterstrom says the research shows once the north-south corridor is completed, that won't be the case.
Shifting part of that traffic that's on Division today to the North Spokane corridor as well as on other streets. And so that actually frees up capacity.
And the lane's purpose for transportation won't be completely cut off to the public.
In the case of the cars, though, they're focused on cars that are making turning movements in or out of the side streets.
But even with a promising future, many businesses on Division are left worried.
It's going to have a huge negative impact on businesses.
Tom Barony is the owner of the general store on Division.
Oh, go for it, go ahead.
He worries the project will hurt his business.
A lot of customers, they're going to find different ways to travel, and they'll find different shopping patterns, and they'll move on to other businesses.
Barony believes the project won't do Spokane any good.
A lot of people still have to commute within city, so I think the majority of that traffic is still going to stay even with the north-south freeway.
But for Tom and others who oppose the project, it may be too late.
Yeah, just getting everything ready for the snow.
The $200 million project is already underway.
We are beginning 30% design, which helps us really identify the costs.
The Spokane Transit Authority tells me the project could begin construction in the year 2027 and the project could be completed in the year 2030. In Spokane, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
And in our ongoing Boomtown series, we are tracking how increasing rent prices are impacting Spokaneites. In the past year, rents haven't increased that much, but in the last 5 years, they've gone up by almost 50%.
It is crazy. This whole rent is ridiculous.
So tomorrow morning on Up with KREM, our Nicole Hernandez sat down with 4 Spokane residents to talk about how renting in Spokane impacts them. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.